Have you ever heard the saying that God gave us more talent and ability to use in our lifetime, and it's our responsibility to develop that talent and ability? And you can replace God with life or the universe, but the key is, are you developing your talent and ability to your highest and best potential right here, right now? Because if you are, then you're living a life worth living and a life worth dying for. That's what you want to have. That's why you need to ask yourself, what are my talents and abilities? What are my capabilities? What are my strengths? What can I do today to move the needle forward in my life and feel good and create meaningful memories? Because when you do that, then you're living in a gain mindset versus a gap mindset. Because when you have a gap mindset, you're thinking about the things that you haven't done. You're comparing yourself against other people in the world, maybe celebrities, maybe your neighbors, maybe somebody you look up to. But if you are doing that, then you have a gap mindset. You are measuring yourself against an ideal. You can't win that. You don't have control over that. What you have control over is your own thinking, your own thoughts, the things that you can accomplish. That's what you have control over. So you need to take control over the things that you can manage and manifest and make happen. And when you do that, things change. And here's the thing. If you want to move forward in your life quickly, then ask more questions. The answers to life's most difficult challenges and problems are in the questions that we ask ourselves. We know that. We've seen inventors and innovators like Tesla and Edison and Einstein. They asked difficult questions. They asked questions about the solutions that they wanted to produce. So they kept asking difficult questions. And as they asked more questions, then ideas and solutions and possibilities came to them. And some of the solutions are totally outrageous that you would have never conceived or thought about anytime, anywhere. But because they asked questions, they came up with solutions. And like I was saying earlier, if you want to live a meaningful life, then you have to measure your life against your past, which is what you can control. Your past is yours, and you can measure yourself against that. And so as you move forward throughout your day, you should be asking yourself, what did I do today that made me better than yesterday? What did I do today that made me better than last week, last month, last year? How am I better? Because if you're not measuring yourself against a previous version of yourself, then you are not looking at the gains that you made, because you've made gains all throughout through weeks and years and months. You've made gains, and you just have to know that you've done it. And how do you do that? You start reflecting back and you realize, where was I last year? What was I doing? What was going on? You know, one of my clients, he's looking back at last year. His wife was giving birth and they were trying to figure things out financially, and there was a lot of complications. And this year, this time, he has money coming in. He has people helping him. His family is growing. He has now 3 children, and they're growing, and they're moving forward, and they're achieving things, and they're feeling good about it. That's the comparison. When you make that kind of comparison, then you can get better. But if you compare yourself against an ideal, meaning something you want, or something you think you should have, or something you feel entitled to have, then you are going to get caught in the gap. You're going to be in a state where you don't have control over what's going on, because you're measuring yourself against something that's invisible and intangible. If you do it the other way, then you're in a gain mentality, gain mindset. You are now looking at your possibilities, your potentiality, what's working for you, what you can do better. And when you do this kind of playing, it is playing, you are playing with life, and you're playing with your past and your future. When you play like this, then you get into the game and you have more control over what goes on and more power. The key thing is, you're in a pain position if you're not getting what you want in life, if you're not feeling good at the end of each day, if you don't feel like you accomplish things, if you feel like you let somebody down, or you're letting yourself down, or you're letting your family down, well, then you're in pain and you want to move to power. How do you move to power? You use the gain mentality, the gain mindset. You look at things that you measure backwards. You measure it backwards. You get to the end of today, and you can look backwards and you can say, what are the things that I did today that moved the needle forward in my life, that I feel good about, that I solved, that I accomplished? And it might be something simple sometimes with your family. It might just be going for a walk with your family and having a personal conversation. Those might be major wins for you or major achievements. And so look at your life from that lens. Measure it backwards. Go forward, measure backwards. Go forward, measure backwards. Move forward, step forward, measure backwards. Keep doing that process over and over and over and over again. And there's a simple way of doing it. I call it bookending your day. So basically, at the end of your day, you look at the things that were wins that day, the successes, what you won at. And then you also project your intentions, the wins you want for tomorrow. That way, you're anticipating it. You set your intention. And when you have intentions, they have power. There's great books that are written about this, like The Seat of the Soul. That's an awesome book that talks about the power of intention and how you can move your life ahead just by setting intentions. And then you measure what you did. You look for the evidence of those intentions. You look for the things that happened that are validating them. And then once you do that, then you have more courage, more confidence, because you need that. The actions that you take, that's the competence. And then you need to develop courage and confidence. How do you do that? You keep taking action. It's the repetitions. It's how many times you do something. And once you've done it enough, it becomes normal. Just like driving a car or riding a bike. You become better and better and better and better at it. And then you look back and you think, well, hey, this is easy. I can do this. Why? Because you did the repetitions. So you look forward, measure backwards, and every single day you do that. If you want a cool little app, there's a guy named Dan Sullivan. He is the founder of Strategic Coach. It's called Win Streak. Win Streak. You can get it on the App Store, and you can measure your wins every day, and then project your wins for tomorrow. Every single day you can do that, and you can keep reflecting. It keeps a record of it, so you can look back and you can see where you came from. Because ultimately, if you did that, you would see that you have achievements. You have things that you can appreciate and that you can reflect on and say, hey, I am moving forward. I am growing. I am making progress. Because human progress is part of our innate features. It's one of our genetic makeups. We need to grow and progress, just like a blade of grass needs to grow. It's coming up to the ground, and the voice of life is saying, grow, grow, grow. It's saying the same thing to you. It wants you to grow. And so if you want to grow, then you have to take action, and you have to set intentions and move forward and measure backwards and keep taking actions consistently, looking for the gains. If you find yourself in gap mentality, guess what? You're in gap land, and you're going to stay there. You can't be in a gap mentality where you're measuring against ideals and you're looking at other people and comparing and not feeling good. That's gap mentality. If you want a gap or gain mentality, then you have to be committed to that. You have to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm going to be looking for the things that are working. I'm going to measure my performance every single day. I'm going to look forward to the things that I want and then measure backwards. Bookend your day. At the end of each day, establish what you did that day. At least three things that are considered wins, and then project out for the next day. Your intentions, 3 wins that you want for the next day. Put them out there. And then if they happen, then it'll be confirmation. You'll feel good about it. And then you'll keep doing this, and you'll rinse and repeat. And as you do these repetitions, you will end up having internal language that goes something like this. Everything I want in my life happens for me. Everything I want manifests. I get what I want. I anticipate good things coming to me. And that's how you'll start thinking. And when you start thinking and acting like that, then the universe and the world can give you exactly what you want. Because you're now clear on it, you're focused on it, you expect it, you anticipate it. Anticipation has power, and you can get the things that you want if you focus your attention on it. But don't get caught in the gap mentality. If you want to study a great book, it's by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. It's called The Gap and the Gain, and it talks all about that, and you can learn how you can get into a gain mentality. You can understand what it takes to be in a gain mentality and then move forward and progress and get the kind of results you want and live a full and meaningful life. And live a life worth living for and a life worth dying for. Because if you were to die today or tomorrow, you'd want to be able to say, hey, I did everything I thought I would. I thought I shouldn't, and I did it. Why? Because I stepped forward with courage and confidence, and I did it. I took action. So if you want to be in game mentality, play this game with me. I'll play with you, and we'll keep moving. See you on my next video. Bye.